on the Hawkeyes Sports Network from Learfield. This is the Fight for Iowa podcast. Iowa Farm Bureau would like to remind you that America needs farmers. Join our team. Support America's farmers. Check out americaneedsfarmers.org. This is the Fight for Iowa podcast. Here's the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin.
Even growing up in the burgeoning Chicago suburbs, future Iowa Hawkeye All-American lineman Bryan Bulaga was aware of his farming genealogy. During his 12-year professional career, capped by a Super Bowl victory with the Green Bay Packers, Bulaga often recalled the generations of family members who came before him, their grit and toughness in turning the earth, raising crops, beef cattle, dairy cows, and hogs to feed the world. This week, Bulaga will be honored as the 11th former Hawkeye to join the ANF, America Needs Farmers Wall of Honor inside Kinnick Stadium. Bryan Bulaga is on the Fight for Iowa podcast after a word from the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Hi, this is Hawkeye coach Kirk Ferentz. My players know that success is not a given. There will be challenges, but with hard work, there are no limits. For years, Iowa farmers have believed in that too. Farmers are the backbone of this country, and their dedication to bringing us food and energy has never been more important. That's why we're proud to wear the America Needs Farmers logo on our helmets. Join the Hawkeyes and the Iowa Farm Bureau as we celebrate America's farmers. To learn more about ANF and pick up some great ANF merchandise, visit americaneedsfarmers.org.
During his long football career, guard tackle Bryan Bulaga endured and played through more than his fair share of injuries. A 6'5", 314-pound frame is susceptible to pulls, tears, and dislocations. Oftentimes, Bulaga remembered the line, "Winners never give up, no matter the obstacles." Bulaga feels that's what sets America's farmers apart from others.
What farmers in this country endure and what they go through, and kind of the spirit of a farmer in this country reminds me of an offensive lineman. So very honored and very proud to be the recipient this year.
And your farm lineage, your agricultural background, you grew up in Crystal Lake, but your dad and grandpa and great-grandpa, it starts in southern Illinois on the farm, doesn't it?
It does. It does. My great-grandfather grew up and worked on his family farm in southern Illinois until he went to war in World War I, and then he came back, moved the family to Chicago, and stayed in the farm business and worked for International Harvester until, not sure what age, but I think until my dad sent around, he was 70, 75 when he stopped. And then also on my wife's side, her father, her dad's side, her great-grandfather, he owned a big farm in Carthage, Illinois, multiple of hundreds of acres that they lived on for a long time and worked for a long time. And so we do that. I didn't personally work on a farm. I can't say that I have, or my dad didn't personally work on a farm. We didn't live on one, but we definitely have family ties to farming and agriculture.
You're an offensive lineman. You've got that farmer's work ethic, let me tell you. But you mentioned lineman. I think it was last year, a couple years ago, Tony Moiaki was a recipient for his family's Samoan farm background. And then Marshall Yanda won it a few years ago. Yeah. So at Iowa, we don't discriminate by position.
No, not at all. And, I think when I look down that list of players, I said it earlier, but just the quality of guy that is on that list is second to none. And then I think, like you said, a lot of guys from different backgrounds, Marshall, Tony, Greenway, Dallas, guys from all different backgrounds and walks of life and things of that nature. But I can say all those guys had that same spirit, that same energy and intensity and drive of a farmer in this country. So I can see it doesn't matter what position you're in, even though I'm a little more biased to the offensive lineman, obviously, but it doesn't matter what position you play. And in this university, I think that's something that guys really take pride in, is having that toughness, that steel, and it shows with this award.
And you mentioned the different personalities, the characters, the backgrounds, where they came from, big city to small villages. That just screams Iowa football, doesn't it?
It does, and I think that's what makes Iowa football so special. I think, when I came, there was a lot of guys from Iowa, obviously. A lot of these guys that lived on farms or lived in smaller rural towns, and then you get guys like myself. I didn't come from the inner city or a big city, but now it's a bigger city, but guys coming from Illinois, Detroit, Florida, all over the place, Texas, and they get brought into this this Iowa culture that no one really understands until you get here and you're a part of it, and you understand kind of what Coach Ferentz is all about and what he wants to make this team look like. And then you start to get around the guys from Iowa that did work on these farms, and you see their mentality, and it rubs off on you because, this is the way it's supposed to be. I'm not saying, every guy that came here from out of town became a farmer, but what I'm saying is that, that toughness and that mentality, that stuff rubs off on you. And then you meet a lot of people from this state as you're playing here from, like you said, all walks of life. They could, be from Cedar Rapids. They can be from the smallest farm town in Iowa. And the mentality that they carry kind of brings that spirit to this team. And that's why, I think it's that Iowa's university and the football team in general puts that sticker on their helmet, that ANF is something to be proud of.
The Fight for Iowa podcast interview with former Hawkeye great Bryan Bulaga will resume after this from the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Hi, this is Hawkeye coach Kirk Ferentz. My players know that success is not a given. There will be challenges, but with hard work, there are no limits. For years, Iowa farmers have believed in that too. Farmers are the backbone of this country, and their dedication to bringing us food and energy has never been more important. That's why we're proud to wear the America Needs Farmers logo on our helmets. Join the Hawkeyes and the Iowa Farm Bureau as we celebrate America's farmers. To learn more about ANF and pick up some great ANF merchandise, visit americaneedsfarmers.org.
Now, more of our conversation with this year's America Needs Farmers Wall of Honor recipient, former Hawkeye All-American and Green Bay Packer Bryan Bulaga. Kirk came from the Hayden Fry tree, and Hayden never pushed too many wrong buttons in his life or in his career, the old Marine. But when he thought about, in the farm crisis, this was born of the farm crisis in the 80s and 90s, when he put that decal on that helmet, it's become an international symbol, and I know you guys were and are always proud to wear it.
100%. I think when you're a younger guy at the university and you see the sticker on the helmet, you understand it means America Needs Farmers. You get that when you're in the university and you're playing for the team. I think when I really started to, you look back on it and you think about it is when I leave the university, start my own family, and you're looking at really what that meant. And what it was, you sit down at a dinner table, you go to the grocery store, you go to the gas station, you go anywhere. All of that is coming from farmers, right? And it's bigger than just a sticker. It's bigger than just, obviously, America Needs Farmers, and people think about food, and that's all great, but there's a lot more that sticker means. And I think once I left the university and I, like I said, got my own family, and you're starting to realize everything that, everything that sticker meant, makes it much more special to receive this award because everything we do comes back to farming. It's really not that. It's not that hard if you look at the big picture of this. Everything we do comes back to it, and the farmers in this country are so underappreciated. So this little gesture goes a long way, and it speaks volumes. Like you said, it has become an international thing, but one little sticker represents a lot, and to me, that's pretty cool.
Well said. You've got two beautiful kids now, a boy 8 and a daughter 6. You and your wife, Abby, family. You spend a lot more time now with your family. Your Iowa career, your Iowa education led to a 12-year National Football League stay. I mean, that's remarkable that anybody lasts that long, especially in the offensive line. Now, you battled through a lot of injuries, but you had 9-10 extremely productive years in Green Bay and finished up out in L.A. with the Chargers. And that Iowa career had a lot to do with it, but congratulations on an incredible career. As you look back on your time at Iowa, many more positives than negatives.
For sure. I think what I experienced here at Iowa launched me to what I was able to achieve in the NFL. I mean, Coach Ferentz, Coach Morgan, the offensive line coach, Coach Doyle, the strength coach, the foundation that they built for me to take that next step to the NFL was monumental, because it's a different game going from college to the pros. And I feel like Coach Ferentz has a program that gets guys ready to take that step. And I can't thank Coach Ferentz and the University of Iowa enough for what they prepared me for going to the next level. Nothing ever seemed too big. I never felt overwhelmed. Obviously, first game you're a little nervous, but from technique to play style to mentality to scheduling, all the things that a lot of guys have a hard time adjusting to, I felt really prepared. I felt really ready, and that's all because of what this university does, getting guys ready.
And now Bryan Bulaga's name forever enshrined on the ANF Wall of Honor at Kinnick Stadium. I know how much you love Kinnick Stadium. What an honor to have your name carved into that edifice for the rest of time.
I mean, like I keep saying, the honor is just unbelievable. Been to a lot of stadiums, NFL and college, and I don't think I've been in a better environment and just overall setting than Kinnick Stadium. I just don't. I was just in it today and seeing the new addition for the first time. I know it's been up for a little bit, but it's my first time seeing it. Man, I literally cannot wait to get in the stadium in October and hear what it sounds like with 80-some thousand people in there and against Minnesota in a rival game. I mean, it's going to be just unbelievable. So it doesn't get any better than having your name carved somewhere in Kinnick Stadium, for as long as I know longer than I'll be alive. As long as the building's standing. So, I mean, it's such an honor and such a cool honor to be on that list with those guys, right? Like, because, those guys and that, meant a lot to this university. To be next to them, I mean, it's unbelievable.
That list, those guys include Casey Wigman, Jared DeVries, Bruce Nelson, Robert Gallery, Dallas Clark, Chad Greenway, Aaron Campman, Matt Kroll, Marshall Yanda, Tony Moiaki, and now Bryan Bulaga, who added, in no other country do so few people produce the food and fiber we need, but also help ensure national security and economic stability while weathering many challenges along the way. For that, I am forever grateful. I'll be right back.
Hi, this is Hawkeye coach Kirk Ferentz. My players know that success is not a given. There will be challenges, but with hard work, there are no limits. For years, Iowa farmers have believed in that too. Farmers are the backbone of this country, and their dedication to bringing us food and energy has never been more important. That's why we're proud to wear the America Needs Farmers logo on our helmets. Join the Hawkeyes and the Iowa Farm Bureau as we celebrate America's farmers. To learn more about ANF and pick up some great ANF merchandise, visit americaneedsfarmers.org.
Fans can show their ANF and Hawkeye pride by purchasing America Needs Farmers merchandise during Saturday's game with Minnesota in shops around the stadium. A portion of the proceeds benefit the Iowa Food Bank Association. More than $180,000 has been raised to feed hungry Iowans since this partnership began. For more information, visit iowafarmbureau.com. Thanks again to Bryan Bulaga, and thank you for listening to the Fight for Iowa podcast.
You've been listening to the Fight for Iowa podcast. Hawkeye fans, remember to hit the subscribe button on your favorite podcast app. Once you become a Fight for Iowa podcast subscriber, you'll automatically receive the latest episodes of the Fight for Iowa podcast, the Hawkeyes Voice podcast, Hawk Talk replays, exclusive game day content, and more. Until next time, on Iowa, and go Hawks! The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.